Hello, welcome, Cabbage here. In War of the Visions JP, let's talk about the first anniversary livestream for the JP version. I'm not going to talk about everything, just kind of the big stuff that interested me. And then at the end of the video, I'll talk about kind of new awakening forms. And I'm not saying the new EX job is necessarily a new awakening form, just kind of in general, like across all mobile games. And then how I approach them and like other big updates. And then also how I hope War of the Visions goes from now. But first is the collaboration, and that is Final Fantasy X. I'll be very brief here because I'm going to do more in-depth videos of the units later. But Tita, he is a free handout UR, water element, main job is something something ace, sub-jobs are paladin and samurai. Going by what the developers were saying, he's very fast, so he'll have a lot of agility. He might be evadey as well, get lots of actions in. And then lots of people, they were like, oh, he's free, so he sucks. But the designers insisted that they are making him strong, and this game has a history of making their free units pretty good. But my suspicion is that you will have to max his EX jobs in order to get him really strong, but I'll talk about that later. Either way, I'll level him to level 99. He must be better than Tyrell. And if they make a lot of content aimed at Tita, that means my Christmas Ramada will also be good, so that makes me happy. Next is Yuna, a Hatcher unit that will be released on the same day as Tita. Light element, main job Spira Summoner, sub-jobs Green Mage and Power Word. If she had Imperil and Dispel from Green Mage, that would be really interesting, but I am going to skip her. And then Auron, he will be released 2 weeks later, Ice element, main job Legend Protector, sub-jobs Pugilist, that's that new fist fighting job, and then Soldier. People have been wondering why he is Ice element, and my answer is game balance. He looks like a very strong attacker too, but I'll skip him. If he gets Drain Force, that might motivate me a little bit to want to pull him, but I'm still going to skip him. I'm more interested in the Vision cards, depending on what they will do, and they will be released along with Auron. And then we have some campaigns. I'm most interested in these limited time Vision cards coming back. I have none of them, I think, in my JP account, and I might want to pull to get them all. The UR card is great for evade teams because it will raise your luck. But again, I'm not going super hard for evade on my JP account, so maybe I can skip it. Then, once I pull the cards, I'll have to consider how much I want to level them. I will be skipping Final Fantasy X for the most part, so I might have some Vision ore ready. Next, the barracks will get the update where you can get unit shards instead of JP, and this is pretty awesome. Looks like 1 a day for cost 100 units, 2 a day for other UR units, and then 3 a day for non-UR units. This is about the rate that I expected. And I would love to put Thancred in there, but since he's cost 100, he'll only get the 1 shard a day, so I don't know. I might be better off working on other limited units like Agrius. And then this makes me want to really expand my barracks meter. I might even go up to 12 or even 24 hours. I wonder how expensive that is. Okay, last, let's talk about the EX job system. So, some units this week will get access to EX jobs, which means higher unit level cap, 120, higher job level cap, 25. Some abilities on their ability board upgraded, and then some all new nodes. Is this a new awakening level? It kind of is and it isn't, but I'll talk about why I think so soon. But first, these will be made available to mostly older units first. Stern, Erude, Rob, Orudoa, Tita, Mont, and I think it was Balo and Liat. They did not mention Yuna with this group, which I'm very happy about, and I'll also talk about later. And then through farming some new items and gathering more unit shards, you can get the EX jobs, raise their levels, raise their job levels, and get access to those new or improved nodes. And then I said you need unit shards, but that's not exactly right, but it does work out in the same way in the end. When your unit is maxed and you get more shards, you get Mog coins instead. Now with EX jobs, you will in addition get new currency, 1 for 1 that you can use to raise EX job levels, and then to fully max the EX job levels for a unit, you will need 400. You can get that new currency in all the ways that you can get regular shards now, through Hatcher pulls, or shop buys, or hard quest clears, or now time in the barracks. 400 is a lot. That's twice what you need to go from Limit Break 4 to 5, so it should definitely be considered something to work on in the long term and selectively, similar to UR equipment or UR vision cards. We shouldn't max everything we can. We should think about what we really like and want, or we risk burning out and going broke. For this batch, I will do Stern for sure, and partly it will be just to see what the experience is like. I'll say this later as well, but I feel like you can skip this for the most part and not have too much effect on your account. So I'll level up Stern. If it's not that much of a slog, maybe I'll consider doing Olodoa as well. And then Edide and Rob, I have them, but they're only at Limit Break 4, so I would have to push to get them to Limit Break 5 before I could start considering their EX jobs. And then with Mont, I might as well buy his shards, since they're cheap and then always in the shop, but I'll decide if I actually want to work on him or not later. And they are focusing on older units now, which is absolutely the way to go, although they did mention that new units will also be getting this, Tita being the first one. My guess is they are bringing up old units so that they are on a level with new units. I think for the most part I will not be going very hard on EX jobs, because higher stats are nice but not necessary. What would motivate me are the new and or improved skills. I said recently that soldiers need some kind of survivability. If in the EX jobs like Stern and Ododoa got access to more evasion or barrier abilities, then it would be worth it to me to work on that. But if it's just higher multipliers on existing skills, I can pass. If it's a new multi-hit skill, I can pass, because I have that from the Exorcist card anyway. It's really going to come down to the new abilities for me, and people should really investigate what they are getting before committing, just like with UR equipment. Again, I wouldn't call this a true, full new awakening level. It's more like installing a new software program on your computer versus getting an all-new 0.0 operating system. Or put another way, if you think about Monster Strike, it's like the Spirit Crest system or Ableberries, where you take the existing units and simply augment them with some kind of buffs. That takes some grinding. Although it could be a lot of grinding in War of the Visions. We haven't seen it in action yet. In War of the Visions, when it's Limit Break 6 or 7 stars, and then the units get all new sprites, then I'll call that a new awakening level. So we're not quite there yet. But still, it's a pretty big change for just 1 year into the life of the game. And then, is this power creep? In terms of the older units, not really. Stern with EX jobs maxed would be better than Stern without, of course. But is that old Stern obsoleted? I doubt it, because even Ruin Knight Stern could not totally obsolete regular Stern. But will they make Stern with EX jobs maxed suddenly so strong that it will replace all the Ruin Knight Sterns in PvP? I highly doubt that. But that is just user side. I doubt that units with EX jobs maxed will be necessary for any PvE content anytime soon. So there's no game side power creep either. So what's happening is that if you have a line that's kind of steadily going up with old releases here and then new releases up here, these EX jobs on these old units are raising this earlier part of the line, so the line's kind of flatter overall. However, if they start giving brand new releases access to EX jobs right away, then that higher side of the line will get even higher, and I don't want or like that. So hopefully it moves in a direction where we just have a flatter line overall, while the game side line is unchanged. I'm totally fine with this if that's how it goes. And I guess here we can get into my thoughts about new awakening forms in general across all mobile games, and how I hope they do new forms in War of the Visions. First of all, I hope they stretch out the 6-star Limit Break 5 thing as long as possible, and I think they can, because with so many elements and jobs and attack types, it will be a while before they can hit every combination. I would go at least another year, another 2 if they can. And if and when the new forms come, I hope the improvements are slight, not so good that they obsolete everything else. I think there's less of a danger in this game in War of the Visions because there's many little piles that you have to, build up individually. While in Brave Exvius, everything's just vertical and every chainer is better than the last. But actually with these EX jobs, they might be able to push back new awakenings by extending the life of older units. I'm hoping with the EX jobs and the future new awakening form, they roll it out slowly and focus on older units. But the way that they released a batch of EX job units at once, including a new unit, Tita, that gives me pause. And then in the live stream, they said that the second batch will be at the end of the month, which is only 2 weeks. 2 weeks is not going to be enough time to work on all of these characters, so I think that's too fast. That makes me worried. But here's my ideal flow for how the rollout could go. Every month or so, 1 or 2 units get the EX jobs capability, and no new units get it. The old unit is brought up to the level of newer units, and the rollout is slow so that us players have time to work on them before more come. I really hope it's 1 or 2 a month and not a half dozen or more a month or like every 2 weeks, like it's looking like it's going to be. I think back to how 7 stars were rolled out in Brave Exvius, and it still makes me angry. Especially with this game where it takes so much time and effort to max a unit, I want lots of time in between releases or these buffs. But keep releasing new units, of course, but don't give them the EX jobs capability at release. Slowly add EX job capability to the older units, and if you only do a couple at a time every month, kind of like every one becomes an event, and you can hype it up, and then you can keep users excited in anticipation, wondering who's going to get the EX jobs next. If you just blow your wad and give everybody EX jobs right away, including new units, you unnecessarily speed up power creep, and put a lot of pressure on users to work super hard on maxing a bunch of units. I say slow it down, take advantage of the slow pace, give players time to work, it can be a good thing. And like a year later, once all those older units have EX job capability, then you can start releasing EX job capability to those newer units that you didn't give the capability to at first. And then you can slow down power creep even more. So Tita is going to be the first new unit that will get EX jobs at launch, and I hope this is not a sign for the future. What I hope with him is that as a free UR, at level 99, he will be as good as like a strong MR, like cost 65, but once you put in the effort to max his EX jobs, then he will be at a proper level of strength, similar to a Hatcher UR. It will take a bunch of commitment, but you can get a Hatcher level UR unit for free. That way, the people complaining that free units are weak, they will get a strong unit, but also the company prevents everybody and their mother from getting a UR Hatcher unit for free, essentially. And so like Christmas Mashiri and Christmas Ramada return, you can announce EX jobs for them, and that will make people excited to work on them further, or pull them in the first place. But if they release new Christmas units or New Year's units, don't give them the EX jobs then. Save that for next year, and then extend and slow down power creep. And then, finally years later, when most of the units in the game have EX jobs, that is when you introduce the new Awakened forms, Limit Break 6, 7 stars, whatever. That's how I hope they do it, slow and steady. But if it turns out that EX jobs are stupid and power creep becomes stupid, I will quit. I have no problems dropping the game right here. I can be like, that was a fun year, thank you, and goodbye. That's the nice thing about not monetizing my channel as well. I don't have to rely on it for anything, except for the nice conversation with you folks. And that is how I approach all new major changes in any mobile game. I'll try it out, and if I conclude the change takes the game to a place where I have to play or spend outside of my comfort zone, then I'll quit. In Brave Exvius, I hated 7 stars from the JP announcement, but I didn't quit until I tried it in Global. It was fun and balanced up until 7 stars, and I was glad that I stuck with it until then. But then 7 stars came, I leveled a bunch of guys to level 120, I played Gilgamesh Kai and Ashita, and I was like, I don't like this anymore, I quit. I don't expect EX jobs to make me want to quit, they don't feel super necessary. But to be honest, we'll just have to wait and see. And then I'll keep you updated on how I feel about the whole thing. But yeah, anytime there's a major new change in a game like this, that's kind of like a day of reckoning for players, where they have to kind of self-assess. They think about if they want to continue the game or quit. I hope people try the new system, however, before quitting, to see if the new system is everything that they were imagining, or if it's not as bad as they thought. Okay, I think that'll do it for this video. This might be the beginning of the end, or the end of the beginning. Alright, thanks for watching, and we'll see you again. Take care.